Welcome to Functional Horsemanship. This post is for Amanda, who wrote me about her 12-year-old gelding who likes to pull back from the tie rail and ends up breaking the halter. So she said he doesn't spook, he just figures out that he can pull back and get free when he wants to. You know, a horse does that once or twice, he's more apt to do it because he learns that he can do it. I don't know if you're using a halter or a lead line with a snap like this. This is probably what you're breaking. This is usually the weakest part of a lead line that has hardware like this. You may be using a webbing halter. I use nothing but double diamond rope halters. I use them because it gives me a little more control of the horse. They're easy to tie. My lead lines have no hardware at all on them. So I don't really have a weak part in here. The horse has a hard time breaking this. I've seen sometimes people tie them really loose and the horse has slipped off it. But if you tie it right, it'll be okay. If you notice that when I tie this, as I come over the horse's neck, I go through the ring here, or the rope ring, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a half hitch and make sure the end of the rope, which usually has some brass fittings on the end of it, point away for him so there's no way he can poke his eye out. When I tie horses to a tie ring on my trail, there's two different devices I use. One's called the clip. It's just called the clip. You can go Google it. Maybe your feed store has them. The thing I don't like about this clip is I think this hole's a little bit too small, and I don't like the friction fitting. The rope's designed to go through here. This is supposed to go the other way. And the rope, or the lead line, fits through this fitting here, and you can screw this screw down here to put some tension on it if you don't want the horse to be able to pull back and get some relief that way. I don't use these. This is one of the only ones I haven't modified. What I'll do is for my trailer, I take these and I hacksaw them off, make it flat, grind it down a little bit so it's smooth. So it becomes just a ring and a snap link here. The way to use these, you're pretty doggone curious, aren't you? The way to use these, they're probably normally already hooked up to your trailer on the side like this. All you're going to do is get a bite in your rope. If you've been watching how I've been handling this rope, I don't have any loops that go around my hand. So I've got it S-rolled here, so if the horse spooks or pulls back, there's nothing to grab a hold of my fingers or whatnot. And this is important. I had a friend of mine just the other day was holding on to her horse while somebody was saddling it for her, and she had the lead line in a coil like this with her hand in the middle of it. The horse spooked, pulled back, and caught one of her fingers like this, and she's lucky she didn't lose a finger. It sprained it pretty bad. Now she has a hard time using that hand until it heals. But anyway, you don't want to ever put your hand in a loop. You're going to S-roll the lead line like this. So you come up, get a bite on your rope. You're going to stick the rope through this hole. See, the hole's kind of small. It's not, well, I don't like it too much. If he pulls back at any time, my fingers aren't going to get caught. I loop the rope over the snap link like this, and then hook it to the D-ring. So if he pulls back, with his weight, he's going to pull the rope through. It's going to be slow. He's going to get some. He's going to get some relief. He's going to stop pulling back because he's not breaking it, not getting free. All you do is when you want to bring him back up, because you don't want this rope too long, you don't want him to step over and wrap his head in it. All I'm going to do is give some slack here, pull the rope, tighten it back up like that. If you have a horse that's spooky at the tie rail, this is a good way to train them not to be spooky, the fact that they can get relief. Have a setup like this, and you just spook the horse. Well, I guess you're not too spooky, are you? But if he starts to pull back, he learns that he doesn't have anything to fear, that he gets some relief. Again, this is called the clip, and my problem with it is just the hole's a little bit too small here. I use some pretty stiff and some pretty thick diameter lead lines. I found at a local hardware store a ring like this. All it is a snap hook and a ring. I've got them on my tie rails. All my tie rails have these friction releases. And you're going to do the same thing. You just take a bite in your rope. You're going to stick it up through the ring and around the snap hook like this. And if you notice, when the rope pulls through here, it's not impacting on the spring-loaded release here, so that way he won't inadvertently release it. Like this, I can cinch it tight if I want to. But if he pulls back, it gives him some release. You may want to try that. Try that for a couple months on your 12-year-old gelding. You'll soon learn that he can't break anything. Again, these rope halters, another good point is when he starts pulling back, he's going to get some pressure across the pole here with this rope. It's a little more pressure than he would with a webbing halter, and he's not going to be too comfortable on him, and he's going to learn that, you know, it's an uncomfortable thing to do is pull back at the tie rail. In a pinch, if you don't have either one of these tie rails, either one of these tie devices to use, you can simply use the D-ring on your trailer as a friction device. Put your lead line through there, put it through again, put it through one more time. Sits him down, and this rope is tied like that, or looped around that D-ring. If he pulls back, he still can pull back, but he's going to pull back at a controlled speed, and you'll soon learn that he can't do that and break anything, nor does he have to pull back out of fright or whatnot and try to get away from you. But Amanda, I hope this helps. Again, I suggest going to a rope halter with no fittings here so your horse can't break it. Double Diamond is the brand I use, and any one of these, the clip, this O-ring with a snap hook, and even this homemade device, which I no longer use, about 10 years old. All it is a snaffle bit, or half a snaffle bit, with the bar taken apart, looped back over the ring, and welded shut. And the same idea goes through this. The lead line's just hooked through this. So when this ring is tied up, the horse wants to pull back, get some friction, and he'll soon learn that he can't pull back and break anything. I'm not fond of this homemade piece because it has I have to hook it to or tie it to a D-ring, so I just brought it out as an example to you. This is much like the blocker ring you're using. The blocker rings are a pretty good device as well. Amanda, I hope that helps you, and thanks for reading the site. You have a safe journey now.